I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we explore a wonderful book, a powerful book. It is called America's Moral Compass, The Beginning of Sorrows by Tina Marie Ray. This is a profound book that delves into God's timeline of events, highlighting the consequences of deviating from divine guidance and the erosion of our liberties. Join us as we uncover biblical examples and contemporary insights that challenge us to reflect on our faith and the state of our nation. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Tina, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. When you look around America today, when you see so much violence, when you see so much depravity, when you see the absurd and the odd and the abnormal told to you that it's normal, we realize we have really kind of lost America's moral compass, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yes, I think that with everything that's going on and things that have happened in the past few years, it just brings up more of when Jesus comes back, when the Lord returns. Those signs are definitely there.
How do we get back to sanity? How do we get back to Christ-like civilization again? How do we get back to, men are men, women are women, family is family, God comes first? I mean, it all seems so basic, but every day we're shown examples of, men dressed like women. We're told this is normal. And, I turn off the TV. I haven't watched 1 second of the Olympics after their opening
Exactly.
ceremonies. Not one
Right.
second.
I'm right there with you. I didn't watch it either. I mean, I heard about it, and it's very disheartening to hear how much we've turned away from God
Yeah.
in
Tell us
this.
about your book and the inspiration for writing it.
The inspiration for writing it comes from just talking with people and seeing the changes that have happened, and just the fact of God's timeline, the sands of time that demand our attention. um, when it says that the man of lawlessness must be revealed, we know that that's coming, so we need to prepare our hearts for that. But just talking with people and seeing people with what they've gone through um, is why I wrote the book. I wanted to represent Jesus and lift him up in the dark times that we're in.
What are some of the
Yes.
biblical examples that you discuss in your book?
With Noah being warned of the flood, and I don't think that America's too far from that same picture,
Mm.
with the ones that are going to be saved and the ones that are going to be left behind. And they didn't believe that it was going to rain, and Noah was warned and believed God, and he moved with fear, and he was able to be saved, him and his family, and get in the ark before it was too late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. A lot of the people I speak with lately who are interested in Bible study and Christianity and so forth feel like end times are kind of near. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, I do. I do. Yes.
Tell us about that.
I feel like the liberties that we've lost, in the past few years, have gotten more and more. And in a society where things seem, everyone is entitled to how they feel, obviously. But wrong is considered right and right is considered wrong. And that's just where I feel our moral compass is broken. And, the mind will justify anything. If it's the moral compass is broken, the mind will justify it just about anything. So we've shown that in behaviors, we've shown that in society with the way it's fallen.
What are some of the signs of the erosion of our God-given liberties that you talk about in your book?
Some signs of God given our liberties that we've lost are, we're almost at the point of freedom of speech. We
Mhm.
don't, um, people get fired all the time for representing Christ. And just our God-given liberties, really.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
the Christian viewpoint now has become the target of hate crime. So,
exactly. I was going to say the anti-Semitism that's happened in the universities and colleges and all of those things that have taken place.
and then the traditional Christian views. If you believe a family is a man, a woman, and children,
Yes.
well, that's small-minded and bigoted now, because a
Yes.
family could be anything, according to
Right. Yes.
there's just everything's been turned upside. If you're anti-abortion, well, then
I
you're
know.
anti-woman. No, you're not. You're anti-killing children.
Exactly.
Um,
Right.
so there are traditional Christian views that are being silenced and being told
Yes.
that are hate if we espouse them.
Yes, I agree with that.
Homosexuality is wrong. That's a
Right.
problem in today's society. But the
Mm-hmm.
Bible clearly tells us that it is. And our
Right.
Christian religion clearly tells us that it is. So
Yes.
it's hard balancing being a Christian and an American today.
Yes. I agree with you 100%. It's hard, to stand in the days that we are, but if we know Jesus, that we will do that. That
Mhm.
is our Christian duty to do that and to show others how to, you know, to get back to the right morals and values and ethics that we've lost along the way.
Absolutely. What are some of the messages and some of the truths that you hope readers take away from your book?
I hope that they'll know to get their house in order because I feel time is short. And, like I said, the signs of the times are definitely here. I mean, we have, the cashless society, we have New World Order that's on the rise, all of the changes that are happening and are going to happen. Nothing surprises me today that does happen. It's all a part of the evil that's behind the scene, working towards that kingdom.
Right.
And it's just about the end times.
You've been a busy writer. Tell us what you're working on right now.
Um, I'm not sure. I've had a title come to me, America Judged, Sin and Destruction has taken a stand. And I feel like that with the urgency of that, it's probably going to be my next book that I put out. I've written two other books of inspirational poetry. And then I have a book called America's Moral Compass, The Meaning of the Stars. That's my last book I just wrote. But before that one, I have Crossing Enemy Lines, One Nation Under God. And that one's gotten 5 stars as well. And that's just about the land history and people of Iraq, Iran, the Palestinian state, how that all ties in with end times. But it seems like when I write one book, it'll have a subject that will take me into the next book.
Right. That's
Yes.
wonderful. Wonderful. Well, this book is terrific. What are your thoughts on the upcoming election, presidential election?
I knew you were going to ask me that question. Um, Nothing surprises me that has happened. Okay. I hope we get someone in there that can try to turn this economy around. It's never been more, religiously or politically divided, in my opinion. Um, and I just really hope we get a godly man, in office
Yeah.
that's going to guide us in the right direction and hopefully get back to some type of morals and values for our
Exactly.
society.
As bad as the economy is, um, crime is horrible, and that's a moral
Hmm.
issue. I mean, a lot of it has to do with a lack of faith, lack of belief in God, the fact that God and Jesus have been banished from the classroom. I
Yes.
think that's why we're seeing school shootings, for example. I think if we talk more
Yes.
about God in the classroom, we'd see less violence in the classroom. So we have violence, we have all these social issues that are so distorted. Hollywood actors nowadays going around with their children pretending to be one gender or the other. There's
Yes.
so many distractions out there, so many reasons to look for a moral compass. So I do pray also that we get a good
Yes.
person in the White House who can turn this nation around.
And
Um,
lead our country.
yeah,
Yes. Back
yeah,
to what it was built on was biblical principles. That's what
absolutely.
our forefathers built, America on was biblical principles, and we really need to get back to that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. We need to get back to what our founding fathers wanted for this nation. And it was one nation under God. It
Yes.
wasn't one nation under godlessness, because I think we have one nation under godlessness right now, and we see the havoc that is wrought because of it, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I've in both my books that I've written, I always start in God we trust.
Mm,
And
exactly.
then, of course, my first chapter was Sands of Time, that demand our attention to all that's going on. So we don't want to be blinded. We want to try to turn this country around, but I know that Jesus is the only one that's going to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we pray that happens. This book is a shining light in a very dark time. It is called America's Moral Compass, The Beginning of Sorrows. It's written by Tina Marie Ray. It is a profound book that delves into God's timeline of events, highlighting the consequences of deviating from divine guidance and the erosion of our liberties. It's a wonderful book. It's a must read. The links are below this interview. Tina, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.